Hello, everyone. Thank you, Greg and Hayley, for the introduction. My name's Kristie Clark, and I'm based in the Rockhampton Department of Agriculture office. I'm just a bit about myself. I'm originally from Longreach, born and bred. I've held different roles, both in industry and in government during my career. Today, I'm going to talk briefly about the eligibility and guidelines relating to drought recovery assistance. And I just want to highlight at the start of the presentation that each person/property's situation is different, and I'd welcome any questions at the end. The Drought Relief Assistance Scheme is offered by the Queensland Government and can assist with the transportation costs to restore your herds after drought. The subsidies can help with the cost of returning livestock from agistment or transporting livestock purchased for restocking once the drought is over. To be eligible to access these assistance measures, it's important not to introduce any livestock onto your property prior to revocation or while drought declared. Please always talk to the drought staff in either Brisbane or in the regions. Eligibility, agistment. The livestock were returned after the drought declaration was revoked for your property. The livestock were sent to agistment while the property was drought declared or in the 2-month period immediately prior to a drought declaration. The agisted livestock are owned by you and returning to their property of origin. The livestock were grazed on your property for at least 3 months prior to their agistment, and the livestock were in agistment for at least 2 months. The rebate also applies to the return of movement of all stock, breeders, non-breeders, and those animals born on agistment in the 12 months after revocation of your drought status. In special circumstances, this can be extended to 24 months following approval by the local drought committee. Please note, everyone, I've put the links at the bottom of the presentation that highlights what I'm talking about in eligibility. Restocking. The livestock were purchased after the drought declaration was revoked for your property. The introduced livestock do not increase stock numbers on the property beyond normal carrying capacity. The restocking movement has occurred within 24 months of the revocation of your drought declaration. The rebate applies to the replacement of up to 75% of the total number of livestock either sold from your property, from agistment, or from feedlots during the time that your property was drought declared and for 2 months prior to the drought declaration. How do you apply? Agistment. For hire carrier transport, you'll be required to supply completed transport of livestock returning from agistment freight subsidy form, freight tax invoices for all livestock movements relating to the return movement home, weigh bills, NVDs for both the forward and return journeys, detailing the number and class of livestock and the date of movement. Restocking. For hired carrier transport, you'll be required to supply completed transport of livestock purchased for restocking freight subsidy form, documentation showing proof of purchase of livestock, including date of purchase, number and class of livestock and place of purchase, freight tax invoices for all movements, weigh bills detailing the number and class of stock and the date of movement. Take-home messages. Prior to the return of any livestock to your property, you must be revoked from drought to access rebates. Attach all required paperwork to verify your stock movements. Please note that missing documentation will slow down the assessment process. I've put the link there to all forms and guidelines, and really this is just a brief overview of what's available within the Drought Relief Assistance Scheme and post-drought, and there can be variations to the criteria depending on your circumstances. Please also note, if you call the call centre, you can ask to be transferred to your regional office. I would encourage anyone, due to the fact that their situation, their property, their movements are going to be unique to them, and if you're not sure, as I said, please call the department and we can help you through the paperwork.